Afternoon, everyone, or morning, or night, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to this Rabbit Hole Roundup special. So today I'm doing something a little bit different. What I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my top 5 Band-Maid albums. Now, I've got 6 CDs here, and I'll explain why in a moment. But we are only going to look at my top 5. And I'll use Spotify, because that's what I use primarily for listening to my music anyway. And we'll pick a couple of the songs out of each album. So what is the point in this video? There's two points to it really. The first point is there's a lot of Band-Maid videos out there, like reaction videos and people looking at Band-Maid songs, but I tend to find that they all look at the ones that are on YouTube or the songs that are more common. For me personally, all my favourite Band-Maid songs are pretty much not on YouTube. My favourite songs are some of the tracks that are on the albums. I've always been like that. The second thing is I run a Facebook group for lovers of Asian music, and we're quite a big group. And they're used to me, the members of the group, sharing quite a lot of Band-Maid. Now there's a lot of Band-Maid fans in the group naturally, which is fantastic. But there's also a lot of people in the group that aren't so familiar with Band-Maid. And I know that they like to watch my videos, so I thought this would be a great way for me to show you guys some of my favourite Band-Maid songs and tell you why they're my favourite. I find social media is so difficult to try and do that kind of thing on. I mean, it's okay to share something from YouTube and you can even write a caption about it, but even that caption just sometimes just doesn't seem to say what you really want to say. So I thought this would be a great way of doing it. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy it. Now, remember as well, this is my opinion. It doesn't make it fact, okay? I fully appreciate that there may be some Band-Maid fans that will watch this video and completely disagree with everything that I pick. And that's absolutely fine. That's exactly the way the world works. I'm more than happy to admit that these songs might not be the greatest songs in the world to other people, but they mean something to me, and that's what's important, I think. Right, so I said I had 6 CDs, didn't I? Okay, and the reason why is because Made in Japan was in my top 5 up until I decided to do this video. Because I obviously gave it a little bit of thought, and I thought to myself, right, do you know how hard it is to rank your top 5 Band-Maid albums? It is quite difficult. So I did think to myself, right, well, what am I picking? And I had my top 5 in my head already kind of nailed in, so I went and picked out 5 CDs. And I realised that a couple of songs that I really wanted to show weren't on. I thought, wait a minute, no, because they're on that album. So I went and got that album and looked at the back, and I realised, wait a minute. Like, I like more of these songs on this album than pretty much most of the others. I wouldn't say it was my favourite, but it's going to be in the top. It's going to be in the top of the top 5. So I'm sorry, Made in Japan. For a top 5, I'm going to have to take it out. Now, I have this copy of Made in Japan. This is the plain white copy. I think this is a reissue or like a second edition, because it comes with 2 extra bonus tracks on it. And Summer Drive is an absolutely brilliant track. I think that's the B-side from is it Love, Passion, Matador? I love that song. Brilliant album. It's on well, it's not even an album, is it? It's a single, but it's on Spotify. That I listen to it quite often. So this one here, yeah. So I've got the white edition here with the 2 extra songs on it. The reason why this one was probably in my top 5 is just because of what this album represents. It's got Be Okay on it, which is one of my favourite Band-Maid songs. It's one of the few Band-Maid videos on YouTube that exists from about that time that I've seen that still has some kind of quality about it as well. Like I can get quite emotional watching that music video for Be Okay. It's absolutely fantastic. They absolutely have the crowd eating the palm of their hands. And the song's so bouncy. So we'll put it on for a second and we'll have a listen to Be Okay. If you've never heard it before, this is the opening track to Band-Maid's debut album, Made in Japan. And I mean, they were still sounded epic on their instruments then, I think. Now, if I'm right in thinking, it's just Kanami on guitar in this. Miku hasn't got a guitar yet. And Misa's bass there. It's just so good. Don't give up. Right, so we'll stop it there because they're not in the top 5 anyway, this album, but that song will always have a place in Band-Maid special for me. That is just such a beautiful song, and it really cheers me up. I mean, you must see the way I'm smiling now just listening to it. It's just so Band-Maid to me. They didn't write that's written by somebody else. Band-Maid didn't start writing their own material till much later on, and that's when Band-Maid, in my opinion, went bang, like absolutely epic. But just because of that one song, I would have put that album in my top 5, and just what the album represents, because that was the beginning of something special. This album, the other songs on the album were all right as well, to be fair. But I wouldn't say it's stuff that I go to listen. And you can see on the screen there, most of the songs are about 500,000, just over listens. Buy My Tears and Be Okay seem to be the standout tracks. So that's that one there. So that's not in the top 5, and it even got. So we'll say it's top 6 then. Okay, so number 5. So that's going to be Conqueror. Now, that's the CD for it there. I've got this special one that's got the Blu-ray edition with it, and there's some nice stuff in the CD. Little pull-out cards and booklet in Japanese with all the songs and stuff. So I'll bring it up on here. Give me a minute. I picked it. Yeah, right, okay. So there's a cover there. You've got Miku on the cover. There has been other. I think that it's a different run of the CDs. I might be wrong. Just let me know in the comments. Where you have got Saiki and Akane and all that, or it might have been cards that came in the collector's edition, but mine doesn't have that in. If it was meant to have them. Right, okay, so off of this album, there's quite a few tracks that jump out at me as being fantastic. But this is an album I would say Band-Maid kind of changed their sound a little bit. There was definitely a change in tempo in the songs. But there's some of the best Band-Maid songs you'll ever hear in here. I'm not so sure about ones that aren't mainstream, because most of the ones I like on here are the big ones, to be fair. So Glory for a start. Glory is an absolute banging track. I've got the single of that. It's that intro. I've got 3 million listens on here. Sharp, stabby vocals the way to come in with Saiki. Absolutely brilliant. So I'm not going to keep saying it the entirety through the video, but I'll say it now and once only. I think Saiki has the best singing voice of any vocalist. I think it's unreal. Saiki's voice can hit me in places that no one else can, for sure. And I wouldn't say she was my biggest pull into Band-Maid, but she definitely is what it has that impact on me. Right, so I love anything that she's going to sing, even if I'm not too much into the song. But Glory, I absolutely love Glory. Brilliant song, brilliant Saiki vocals on it. I love how she does that, and then gets really slow again. Endless Story. I didn't like this one. I wouldn't say I didn't like it. I just wasn't too much into it until I seen the video, the live video. Is it the Zep? And Saiki just completely commands that entire audience. It's a really special video to watch. If you've never seen it, you should watch it at least once. So Endless Story. And I absolutely love the song now. I absolutely love it. Nice Miku backing vocals there. And then you're about to get Kanami coming in. Love it. Now, as I say, that's actually one of the most, I would say, one of the most viewed videos on YouTube. But there's a bit at the end that's really special for me. Now, this will depend on how good this video encodes, I suppose, and how good the equipment you're listening on it. So at the end of the song, you've got Saiki singing "Stay With Me," kind of this outro bit. And if you listen carefully, you can just hear Miku dipping in over the back. It's absolutely beautiful. Let's see if we can catch that bit. I maybe should have went a bit further in, but we'll just leave it here. It's in the Kanami's guitar over the top of that. Beautiful. It's making a wail. Listen for me. Yeah. I think that has one of the most beautiful outros of any song ever. It's absolutely beautiful. I just love the way that they've slipped Miku's little voice just peeking over there. Absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, before I come to my favourite song on this album, because we're about to come on to that one, this is one that actually just jumped out at me this morning. Because obviously I had to give a think about, well, what songs am I going to pick and what albums am I going to pick? This one jumped out at me. I hadn't really paid attention to it before it dropped a hat. This is beautiful, man. Like, why have I not listened to this before? Actually, I need to put this one in my... It's absolutely beautiful. It's only had 521,000 listens. I think it's the least listened to on the album too. Come on, I'm so eyes. Beautiful, man, beautiful. So yeah, so that's at the drop of a hat, and that, I admit that's one that I guilty of not paying too much attention to. I'm probably going to pick that one out, listen to that one a bit more often. Right, so I'll go on. There's a lot of good songs on this album, but this album is not what I'd say an album that I listen to all the way from start to finish without skipping one or two of the tracks. Purely because I haven't got that long a commute when I am commuting to work and listening to music, so I do tend to try and narrow it down to my favourite stuff. My favourite one on this one by far is Bubble, and Bubble probably comes in my top 5 tracks, maybe track number 2, maybe track number 3, I'm not sure. It's too hard, it's too difficult. I'll just say it's one of my favourite Band-Maid songs by far. So Bubble's got a video on YouTube as well, and it gets shared a lot. Let's put it on. It's up. And the video is a tribute to Queen, like there's throwbacks to the Freddie Mercury movie and that. Worth watching. Look at that bass. Gorgeous, man. Sorry, I'm just going to say how fucking beautiful is the Japanese language sung like that. Like, wow, honestly, and it doesn't matter how many times I play that bloody song, it gets me every time. It's just. That kick drum going. Maids have got groove lights. Love it. Now my favourite bit is about to come up. His vocals here are just so passionate. And then a beautiful Kanami solo.
Hey, listen. After everything, you only see the surface. They are missing something very important. You should find out the truth. With your own eyes. What do you want? It depends on you.
Right, so I'll stop it there. Yeah, if you're watching this, you're probably looking at me dancing about like an idiot, and I won't even apologise for it. That's how that song makes me feel. So that's why that's one of my favourite Band-Maid songs, and that's why it's this album here, Conqueror, I would say comes in my top 5. That song carries it in there on its own without the other ones that I've looked at that I enjoy. And I do like some of the other ones on that album, but Bubble's just outstanding for me. Bloomin's another one that I do like. I must admit, I do like Bloomin'. I do listen to that one, but not so much of late. But Bubble definitely. I still listen to that all the time. That beautiful Kanami solo. And in the video, if you've not seen the video, please go out and watch it, because honestly, like, you've not lived till you've seen Kanami Tono standing in that moonlit room playing that solo. It's just absolutely beautiful to see. Right, so that's number 5. That's Conqueror. Like I say, now that's quite still easy to buy this. I think I've seen it online. But if you get the collector's edition, you get like a Blu-ray. It's got like Domination and Dyson on-set instrumental videos in it, so that's always a nice touch. So I like that, and I've got some like sticker transfer things in the box as well, so that's quite nice. Right, so the next one, and this is probably going to be a shocker to some people, because I know that this is some people's down outright number 1 Band-Maid album, and I completely understand why, because it's a really good album. It's more than a really good album. Right, so the next one is Just Bring It. Okay, it's 2017 this one came out. So let's bring it up on Spotify. So there's probably a few people right now sitting watching going, that's number 4. What's he picked as, you know? Because I get it. I know how passionate some people are about this album. Right, this album's pure gold, absolute gold. So I've got a nice box version here of it. It comes with a nice booklet. It's got like lots of nice artwork, and I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it's got lots of nice artwork and stuff in it. And I've got to admit, like, that CD design is one of the most beautiful designs ever. I seen somebody the other week comment that they just realised that was a skull. thought that was quite obvious, right? But this is an absolutely magical CD. There's so many songs on here. Like, I'm going to find it difficult to pick the ones that I like the best. And already I'm looking and thinking, ooh parts, because I love ooh parts, right? Don't You Tell Me is absolutely brilliant. It's had, what, 3.5 million views? But I'm going to look at Puzzle first. Puzzle is an absolutely banging track, and it's got one of the best Kanami solos in my opinion. One of the best. Kanami's got so many good solos, it's hard to pick. But, so I'm going to go a bit into the middle. I'll go right here. Look at the CD artwork for that one. Absolutely stunning. I love it. I think that would make a beautiful tattoo. Right, here we go. Kanami solo. Ready for it? Love this one. Right, so there is an official live video you can watch of Puzzle on YouTube, and what I would say is the recording mixing for that really amplifies what Kanami did on the guitar there. The studio version does nerf it a little bit. But I've noticed that with quite a lot of Kanami stuff. He's usually ripping and doing a lot of mad technical stuff. Well, where do you say technical? A lot of fast stuff, shall we say, in the background that doesn't try to take dominance in the songs. And so it's subtle a lot of the times, but it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful the way they do that. But when they play Puzzle live, I would say you really, really notice that amazing Kanami solo a lot more. But I love Puzzle. It's just such a beautiful song, and it jumps about. It does different things. Misa's bass playing just dips in and out through that song. It's just so commanding on it. So Moratorium, that's another one. That's got like one of the best set of lyrics I've heard in any song. It's don't dilly dally. Like any song that's got the lyrics dilly dally's got to be a winner. And it's badass. See, when the maids go hard likes. That kick drum's going a million, a dozen there. Right. Absolutely love Moratorium. YOLO's another one. Now, there's a B-side to YOLO, if my memory's right, called Matchless Gum. And there's a video for that also on YouTube. Now, YOLO is absolutely brilliant song. Absolutely brilliant song. So we'll play a little bit of that. So if you've not heard Band-Maid before, this is like the kind of stuff that's on their album. Though some of the stuff I've shown so far, to be fair, there's videos for. Such a beautiful song, this. The way it kicks in. And Saiki singing here. Misa's bass is just so... Now the idea was that I was going to pick like maybe two of my favourites off each album, but because Just Bring It's so good, I'm looking at going, right, this one. So I'll try not to play too much of the song. It's just to give you an idea. And if you are watching the video and you want any kind of more information on any songs or any of the albums, just ask me in the comments. I'll gladly point you in the right direction. I absolutely love YOLO. It's a brilliant song. Now, Cross is one of my favourites on the album. What one am I going to say is Secret of My Lips as well is a special song for me. I like that. I love the whole Band-Maid thing with that one as well. Right, so I'll do my favourite one last then. So I just want to look at U Parts first. So U Parts is an absolutely brilliant song. Underrated though. Totally underrated. As you can see there, 614,000 view listens compared to like the 2 million that some of the bigger hitters have had. But U Parts is a piece of Band-Maid gold. Got like that nice kind of 90s kickback, deep sustained bass, boom boom. Nice. And then it kicks in. Miku, that yeah, beautiful. Oh man, that's giving me a dilemma because I'm actually thinking now that's probably my favourite on the album. I think that is my favourite one on the album. Oh, this happens so often when you try and rank Band-Maid stuff. I love that song. I absolutely love it. I don't know why it's only got 614,000 listens. Music's a personal thing. Just that song resonates with me. What I found with Band-Maid is everyone has their hook they're into Band-Maid. It seems to be mainly, I would say, if you're a guitar player, you're going in for Kanami. If you're a drummer, they pull in the people that play the instruments because they're so good at it. I'm not a singer, but it's Saiki that totally pulled me into Band-Maid in the first place. Kanami's my favourite guitarist for sure, but Saiki, just her singing, like she can sing anything, like any kind of. Her voice is just so beautiful, and instead of even keep going on about it, and I won't, but just like in that song there, it just really sticks out for me. Right. So the rest of the tracks on this one are actually quite good. Secret of My Lips, like I said, is one of my favourites because it's the Band-Maid thing. But what I would say is my favourite song up until we heard the parts there, I really said it was Cross. Cross is just an absolutely brilliant song, so let's put it on. How beautiful is that? See, at this point, Miku's rhythm guitar's got absolutely outstanding. I love the drums in this song, man. Bumping. I see, by this point in 2017, Miku's really starting to get good with the guitar. And then comes Kanami. That's for that. Just such a good song, so full of energy. I'm sorry, I kept trying to turn it off, and it's just so good. Yeah, I absolutely love that song. I fell in love with that song the first time I heard it. Like, there was something about it. It's absolutely brilliant. And like, again, Kanami's lead riffs are very subtle in that at times, and she's got the effects pedal on, which kind of blunts the sound a little bit. So if you're not really listening to the headphones, you might not necessarily pick up all the Kanami bits, but it's obviously then Miku's playing the rhythm bits, and the rhythm in that song's really good. Like, Miku's guitar playing's come a long way. And I was having a conversation with this and somebody in my group just last week, or the week before, just how an impressive guitarist Miku has actually come on from when she started. Because I tried to play guitar, I'm not very good at it, but I always used to go in, if I wanted to learn a Band-Maid song, I'd always try and pick up the Miku bit first, just to get the rhythm. And I'm finding the newer and newer stuff that comes out, I'm finding it more and more difficult to learn Miku's bits, because she's getting more and more smarter at what she's doing, and she's doing it a lot better as well. Same with Kanami as well. Like, some like early Kanami riffs are like absolutely epic, really hard to play, but the vast majority of them are not too bad. But as by the time you come into this album here, yeah, I struggle really bad to play anything on this album, to be fair. So that's number 4 in my top 5. That's Just Bring It. And like I said before I started looking at Just Bring It, I fully accept that this is some people's number 1, and I fully accept that people will have picked different songs off this album as the best song off the album. To be fair, they're probably going to pick Don't You Tell Me, which is the one I didn't play just because I personally feel it's overplayed. I love the song, but it's just something about it. I think it gets overplayed a bit, and I want to try and look at some of the other songs today that maybe don't necessarily get a lot of highlight. Now, I'm not going to lie, ranking Band-Maid is extremely difficult. It is very difficult. And I think ranking any kind of music is very difficult. And remember, this is just my opinion. This doesn't mean that these are the best Band-Maid songs. There's other Band-Maid fans out there that will have a completely different set of Band-Maid songs and Band-Maid albums that are special to them. And that's the beauty of Band-Maid. They've got such a huge catalogue that you can find something in there for you. That's what I would say. And whereas I love all Band-Maid, there's a core of Band-Maid songs that are the magical Band-Maid for me. And that's what I'm showing you guys in this video. Now, this is really difficult. It gets really difficult at this point because it's so hard to try and rank the songs. it's so hard to try and rank the albums. So the top 3 is ultimately they're all number 1 as far as I'm concerned. I'm really struggling to try and figure out which one's 3, which one's 2, and which one's 1. Okay, especially between 3 and 2. Anyway, number 1 I think is pretty defined in my head what my number 1 Band-Maid album is. And if you know me, you're already going to know what my favourite Band-Maid album is. But do you know what my favourite Band-Maid track is? I don't know if a lot of people do, because it's a really rare, I wouldn't say rare, but it's a really obscure one. It's not one that gets a lot of love at all. So I said at the start of the show today that Band-Maid Made in Japan had been in my top 5. And I took it out because I realised that some of my favourite Band-Maid songs are on another album, which I haven't given enough love to in the past. And I realised when I was going to do this video, wait a minute, this is actually probably one of my favourite Band-Maid albums. And this keeps happening to me with Band-Maid. I keep going back and finding older stuff that I'm enjoying more than the more recent stuff, shall we say. So, next one, number 3, is New Beginnings. This is an absolutely amazing album. I cannot recommend the CD enough. If you haven't got it, get it. Okay? Now, I'll bring it up on the screen so we can see the tracks that I'm on about. So it's got probably one of the most famous Band-Maid songs on it right at the start, which is Thrill. Now, for me personally, look, it's had 6.5 million plays on Spotify, which is, I think that's probably the highest Band-Maid one we've seen so far. Almost double, actually. It's not my favourite Band-Maid song. And it wasn't like the one that hooked me into Band-Maid at all. I know that it has been a gateway into Band-Maid for a lot of people. We've all heard it a million times, Band-Maid fans anyway. If you're not a Band-Maid fan, this song here was the song that saved Band-Maid. The video to it on YouTube is phenomenal, by the way. But I'm not going to play too much of that one. Now, I feel there's a million videos that look at Thrill on YouTube. So if you were looking for stuff to learn about Band-Maid, you'll have seen much more detailed stuff than Thrill on that one. I want to look at some of the other tracks on this album, which are just absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so I did say that I'd only look at a couple each CD. And it gets harder with each album because I like all the songs on it to try and pick ones that I'm like, okay, this... I already know what my favourite one on this album is, so I'll save that one to last and I'll play most of that one for you. But, so Don't Let Me Down. I say that's an iconic Band-Maid song. It's got a bit of a stigma to it because some of the lyrics in it, which is fair enough. Now, I am led to believe that the Maids didn't actually know what the lyrics in the song said, which is maybe fair, but it is very suggestive. It has got a video on YouTube. It's one of my favourite videos. It's got Miku running in these platform shoes. I'll put it on. Running in these platform shoes. And it's just a miracle that she doesn't fall over. I mean, it's just banging from the get-go, that one. So yeah, that's Don't Let Me Down. Like I say, the lyrics to that are a bit naughty. I don't know if I'm blushing or not on the camera. I don't think it's enough to make me blush, but you know, yeah, it's an absolutely fantastic song. And if you're on my YouTube channel, I just uploaded a cover of me playing that this morning. It's actually not that difficult to play it, though I still wouldn't say I play it as good, anywhere near as good as what they do. Right, so the next one on this album that I think deserves a shout is Freezer. So let's put Freezer on. Freezer is an absolute banging track. Like right at the start there, that's Misa's bass coming over the top. Miku as well. And this is the bit I like here. You hear that there, Saiki and Miku bouncing in between each other. That's absolute magic, that. Yeah, so that's Freezer. That's an absolutely underrated track. So it's had like 1.5 million plays on here. So it isn't too underrated, but I don't see people sharing a lot of that, or going on about Freezer a lot. It's such a good song. That one's one that really gets me up jumping. I think it's such a much better song than Thrill anyway, in my opinion. So Real Existence as well. So that's had about what, 2 million views. That is an absolutely amazing Band-Maid song as well. I wouldn't say that one was so underrated though. It gets played quite a bit, I think. So Real Existence, that's an absolutely brilliant song as well. Now, what I would say as well about some of the songs on this album is I do think they get overshadowed with Real Existence and Thrill. I think those are the songs that jump out of the album, and maybe Don't Let It Down, and maybe Arcadia Girl as well a little bit. And the rest of the album just kind of get a little bit forgotten about, I think. But that's only true for people, I would say, that aren't like huge Band-Maid fans. Any huge Band-Maid fan's probably going to love every song just as much as I do. But what's my favourite song off this album is Don't Apply the Brake. I absolutely love this song. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because I would never claim to have the best Band-Maid knowledge out there. I'm still learning about the Maids all the time. And my memory's crap as well, so sometimes I'll learn stuff or hear stuff and then I'll forget it or I'll get confused. Because Band-Maid isn't by far not the only band I listen to. I listen to absolutely hundreds of Japanese and Asian bands. But sometimes my old mind's starting to go a little bit, I think. So Don't Apply the Brake is one of my favourite Band-Maid songs. Saiki's vocals in this are just phenomenal. Kanami plays this lead bit on the guitar, which is really nice. It's very simple to play. It's nothing too difficult, but it just works so beautifully. So anyway, this is Don't Apply the Brake. If you've not heard this, this is really good. That beautiful start to it. Look, it's got the lowest plays as well out of all the songs on the album. You got the sound and din, din, din. Brilliant. I don't know what it is about that song, it's just... so good. Beautiful voice, man. total mental moment. So anyway, that's Don't Apply the Brake. Now that's one that I've actually been practicing so much on guitar, so maybe that is why that's one of my favourite songs. It's definitely my favourite song on that album. Beauty and the Beast. Now, this song I always thought would sit some oi 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 over the top of it. Listen. Oi. It's like The Offspring. You could hear Dexter coming over the top of that. Definitely Offspring. Anyway, yeah, so I always like Beauty and Beast for that because I love my skater punk. And if you don't know who Offspring are, they're a skater punk band from America, and that's their sound, kinda. A lot of their songs kinda have that kind of stabby, kinda intro. So yeah, that's New Beginning. I wouldn't have said 2 days ago that was in my top 5. Certainly not number 3. So it's quite a shocker. And it's not an album that I believe they've written any of the songs to. Which takes me on to my next one then. Right, so number 2 is Brand New Made. So this is where, again, if my Band-Maid knowledge is wrong, please correct me in the comments section. I won't take offence to it. I'd rather learn. But I do believe that this is the first album that was written by Kanami, and Alone's the first song on there that Kanami wrote, apparently, like for the album. She'd been writing songs for years and getting them rejected from the management. So this was a defining point in this album, and it really shows. This has got some of the best songs you'll ever hear from Band-Maid on, and some of them get shown a lot and some of them don't, criminally. So let's bring it up on here. I don't think I've had it on recently on here. So I'll have to type it in. I missed out the R. Getting old and feeble at the keyboard. Brand New Made. There we go. So again, I've got the 2-disc edition here that's got a DVD on it. That's got some videos for the Non-Fiction Days, Order and Alone. Now, if you've watched my YouTube channel, I put up a clip. I was trying to transcribe the subs. It's a lot more difficult than it looks, so that the Western audiences can watch some of the older Band-Maid interviews where there isn't closed captions. It's really difficult. I don't know if it's a project I can actually do, but I am looking at it. So I did try a few weeks ago anyway at a video, and it was promoting this album. I was like, yeah, I've got that copy. I got number B. So yeah, this is an absolutely amazing album. If you haven't heard of Band-Maid before, if you're just listening to Band-Maid for the first time, I would maybe recommend starting off with this album, purely because this is the true Band-Maid sound. This is what Band-Maid write the songs themselves. The discs are nice and simple like that, to be fair. And I've got the DVD one there as well. So yeah, I absolutely love this CD. Just give me a minute so I can put this away properly. I don't want to damage the discs. Right, so yeah, this is absolutely brilliant CD. And the first track on it, Non-Fiction Days, is one of my favourite Band-Maid songs. So we'll quickly put that on. So that you can see there straight away, it's had like a million, nearly 2 million listens on Spotify. Intro bit. Comes in hard, fast, pumping. You know what you're getting straight away with this album. Yes, so when that one comes on, I always get excited. I know that Brand New Made's on. I'm like, yes! So that song always gets me excited anyway. Is it the most popular one on there? Yeah, I would have been surprised. Yeah, it is. It is the most popular one. I'm surprised at that. I am surprised at that. There's a couple on this album that I thought might have actually had more plays. And bear in mind, this is just Spotify as well. This is not actual record sales, and it's not how many plays they've had on YouTube. Though I'd be interested to see if they matched up roughly like the audiences that they're getting, given that some of these songs probably don't have music videos, or ones not official ones anyway. Right, so again, like I said, this gets so difficult now, like to pick a couple of tracks off this, because I could sit and speak about the whole album. Alone's got to get a mention, right? So yeah, Alone. This is one of the most beautiful Kanami intro bits ever. It's not lead guitar. And beautiful. That bass. Ha. Yeah, so that one always gets me jumping about like an idiot. It's one that I'll put on at the weekend on the TV and turn it up full whack in my Band-Maid playlist, because that song really gets me going, and it's got a really beautiful little Kanami solo in it. So yeah, that song for me used to be, I would say, my favourite song on the album, but that changed over time. Now, looking at the album, I'm still trying to think, well, what's my best? So we'll give Before Yesterday a shout. I would say I'm more of a fan of the video of this song than I am the song, though the intro to the song musically for me is magical. I'm just not so keen on the chorus so much, but the video is magic, so it is a special song for me. But that intro bit, when the maids are walking through the street in black and white, it's just fucking gorgeous, man. Actually gets you in the feels a little bit. So anyway, yeah, that's Before Yesterday. But again, that's a video I do see shared quite a bit on social media, and it is well played. And I am trying to focus more on the ones if I'm going to show anything that's maybe not got so much love. Right, so Order. This is a good song, Order. This is a song that did for attention. It reminds me of Thrill for some reason. It always has. I could see the video of Thrill working with this kind of... Is that a kick drum? The wah pedal. Yeah, so Order definitely got a vibe. Absolutely amazing track. And Freedom, right? So yeah, I'll my top two on this album, Freedom's in there. It's got like one of the best solo bits in it. We'll listen to that bit. We'll put it on about. We'll put it on about here. Because you're about to hear one of the best Kanami tonal solos you'll ever hear. You ready for it? So yeah, that's Freedom. There's an absolutely amazing video of that, by the way, on YouTube, and I've shown it on the live stream before. You go and check it out. But like I'm saying, if there's anything I'm saying you should check out, and you want more information or anything on any of these things, just pop it in the comments. I'll point you in the right direction for everything. Right, okay. So my favourite one of a brand new made. Now I promise I'm not doing this on purpose, right? Well, actually, it's not even the lowest played one, but it tends to be the lowest played track I've noticed that I seem to be picking as my favourites for some of these ones. But it's Urugu. I absolutely love Urugu. The first time I heard it, it jumped out and it smacked me in the face. So let's listen to Urugu. I don't know what it is. I think it's that guitar bit right at the start. I was like, oh. I don't want to talk over it too much, but for this song with me, it's the way Saiki and Miku's voice just come riding over the... You'll see what I mean. This bit here. Love it. Lovely backing vocals. Ah man, I love it so much. We'll do one more verse to it. So, bass line. I know I'm jumping about like an idiot and I can't help it. It's so good. See that guitar? Pretty beautiful, man. Well, we'll do a Kanami bit. Go for it then. It's that bass there. I love Misa's bass player, it's just so... It's just Kanami, you hear it's Kanami, man. Oh man, what a song. And I've seen other people on YouTube say the same thing. Like, you just know Kanami Tono. Like, you could stick Kanami Tono in any band and have her play it and you'd be like, that's Kanami. That's Kanami sound. Like, it's just, it's fucking amazing. Look at the state of me from that. Like, and I've heard that song a million times and it does that to me every time I hear it. Like, and there's no other band really that does that to me. Not really. There's a couple of artists that I would say that are special to me. But not like that. Like, nothing gets me like that, especially after hearing it. Because I've probably about 7,000 of them, 5,000 and 500 and 7,000 views. Easy. Because I listen to that song a lot. Right. So, I compose myself after Urugu. Ah, man, I love Urugu so much. Right, so what is my favourite album? I don't know if you'll have guessed it by now, but if you already know me, you'll know that it's World Domination. Now, I haven't opened my copy of World Domination yet. I had to get a new copy of it, so I just not got around to opening it. And I want the collector's one. That's definitely. I need to get it. It's my favourite Band-Maid album. But I've not found a copy that I've managed to get yet that's within reasonable cost. Right, anyway, let's bring it up. Now, there's actually songs on this album that I don't like. Well, I'll never say I don't like a Band-Maid song, but I skip past them. And it's maybe just because I've played this album so much. So, for me, this was my first Band-Maid album. This was the first album that I heard fully from Band-Maid, and I would say it was probably the catalyst for me suddenly just abandoning Western music altogether when listening to Asian music. Because I don't really listen to Western music now. I do occasionally like to listen to the odd song or that, more out of nostalgia than anything else. I just, once you've heard this kind of stuff, you can't go back to hearing stuff from before. I just can't. I'm too drawn to this stuff. Right, so anyway, World Domination. This was probably a lot of people's favourite album, I think. I think it's their hardest album, and you can see straight away the plays on the songs on this album. In comparison to the songs that we've had on previous are jumping right out, right? Because there's a lot of gold in here. But yet, my favourite Band-Maid song, two of my favourite Band-Maid songs that come in my top 2 Band-Maid tracks are on this album, which is why it's my number 1 album. And they're like, don't really get that much played at all. Right, so I'm not going to sit and play through the whole of World Domination. That could be a video for another day, actually. But if you've never heard this album before, you've got to go and listen to this album at least once in your life. Because I believe if you listen to the CD and you don't already like Band-Maid, I guarantee you'll appreciate them after the time you've listened to World Domination. I promise that you will, actually. It is a piece of musical genius. It jumped out and punched me right in the face the first time I heard it. It's so difficult to try and rank the songs on this album. What I will say is Fate is one of my least favourite Band-Maid songs. I don't know what it is about that song. It's maybe because it's before Spirit, but it's just something about it, I always skip it. So sorry, Band-Maid. They can't all be winners. It's just as weird that most of the albums, I tend to like most of the songs on them, but this one I really just don't like Fate at all. And Play is an absolutely amazing track, and I love the live video to it, but I always skip it as well when I play the album. I just don't know why. So I Can't Live Without You is in my top 5 Band-Maid songs. It is the best album opener of any album I've ever heard, in my opinion. So I'm going to put that on. Now this when this comes on, without fail, every time, if I'm doing my housework, if I'm going to work, if I'm working, and I put this song on, I can't focus on the thing that I'm meant to be doing. I'm away in my head with this song. So this to me is the best album opener of any album ever. Saiki's voice cuts through me in this. So that's how that album starts, and usually I'm really pulling myself in here. Normally, if this camera wasn't on and I was just doing my normal thing, I'd be all over the place by now. Now, try and remember where it is. I want to show you my special bit of this song. About here. Yeah. It's not the Kanami solo. Right, this bit here. Saiki's voice. Unreal, man. Listen. Wow. What a singer, man. What a singer. Like her voice is absolutely beautiful, and it's so passionate. And that Japanese, oh man, it's the winning formula for me. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Honestly, I don't know if she appreciates just how amazing a singer she is. Her voice can have that much of an impact on someone. Right, so what else? I'll give a special shout out on this album before I go on and finish. Because the album's just got so much amazing stuff on it. Dice is one of my favourite Band-Maid songs. It was a song that introduced me to Band-Maid. It wasn't Thrill, it was Dice. The epic battle between Misa and Kanami. I was like, what's that? And I was hooked for life now. It's an absolute banger, but I'm not going to play it because if you're in a Band-Maid, you've heard Dice, and if you're learning about Band-Maid now, you'll find Dice easy. It'll come up in the top 5 Band-Maid videos when you search on YouTube. Like I said, plays one that I normally skip, but it's definitely one of the best songs, I would say, especially for the live performance. I love the way Miku does the little shouts. Domination. Now, I would say this has got one of the best music videos ever. I love the music video of this. It's a really hard banging track. It's oh man, that song. My only gripe with that song is I can't play it on guitar. I've tried so hard. It's actually really bloody tricky to play that one. Right, really tricky. But the Kanami one stuff is anyway for it. It kind of makes you feel disheartened sometimes because I'd love to play Domination on guitar. I'd be so happy with that. Definitely one of my favorite Band-Maid songs. This album's just full of my favorite ones. Now, Carry On Living. I've been practicing the solo for the last 2 weeks solid. Still a few notes short of getting it right. I don't have the same gear as Kanami, like not even close. So I'm not going to make it sound as good as what she's doing it. But I'll let you hear the solo for this one. There we go. Right. I love this song. It's just so. Here we go, ready for that? Anyway, yeah, absolutely love the solo from that one. I love that whole song. Carry On Living is an absolutely beautiful track, and not one I see get shared enough. Daydreaming is one of their more popular songs. I'd say definitely gets played a lot. It's got the music video to it. It's an absolutely beautiful song with an absolutely beautiful music video. Anime. I never know if I pronounced that right. It's just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We're just going to listen to a little section of this if you've never heard it before. Wow. It's just absolutely beautiful. I'll put the solo on for that actually. Cause one of the most beautiful solos ever. I'll just play it from here. Oh man, those pinch harmonics there are divine, and that is a beautiful song. It's not my favourite on the album, but it's just an absolutely beautiful song. The acoustic version of that as well is absolutely beautiful and special to see. Where is it? Rockin' Me. Now, Rockin' Me is another one that I really like. That's Miku singing herself. There's a brilliant video. That song always makes me prance about like an idiot though. Yeah, there's a brilliant video from that. I think it's live at the House of Blues, where you get to see Miku perform that song. I love that video. It's absolutely brilliant. I love Miku's like when she sings herself, and I love Clupo. Clupo's brilliant, by the way. If you didn't know, by the way, Miku from Band-Maid has a side project called Clupo. It's like kind of peace hippie love stuff, but the music's banging, and she's banging in it. Like her voice is absolutely just unreal. It highlights again like what a special person she really is, because to be fair, she has kind of the talent and the ability to be the lead singer and take the lead of the band, but for Band-Maid to be successful, she's let Saiki take that limelight, and she steps back a little bit, and it's just such an admirable thing for her to do. I think it gains her a lot of respect in the Band-Maid fandom. It really does. It certainly does with me anyway. Right, so I could sit and speak for hours and hours and hours about Band-Maid, and I'm not going to. I want to try and keep the video to about an hour, and even then I worried maybe that'd be too long. So I'll look at my top two. So these are two of my favourite Band-Maid songs. Well, the last one we'll look at is my favourite one, and we'll play that one out. So Spirit, okay? Spirit, for some reason, doesn't seem to be a very popular Band-Maid song. I don't know why. It's had like 1 million listens on here, so it's not that unpopular. But as you can see with the rest of the CD, it's kind of one of the lower ones. Actually, I'm surprised that Carry On Living's so low. And Clang. Come on, people, I need to get listen to these songs. Right, so Spirit, I'll put Spirit on. Spirit is a beautiful song. I love this bit here that's coming up. It's absolutely beautiful. Kind of just dips right down and Saiki singing. Akane's got mental there. Just love this bit. A bit of Miku. So yeah, that's Spirit. I absolutely love that song. Akane's drumming really comes out strong in that track for me. I'm not a drummer myself. I do appreciate amazing drums, and I know when drums are good and when I'm not noticing them, shall we say. And I always notice Akane's stuff because, as I said at the start of the video, I think she has some of the finest fills that I've heard of any drummer. And her kick drum's absolutely phenomenal as well. She can get some rapid speed on that at the right places. But in that song, her drumming's just so good, I think. Saiki's vocals and obviously are outstanding for me in there. But Miku's little backing vocals in there are really magic. So it's going to take me to my number one Band-Maid track. So what's my number one Band-Maid track? It's Dead or Alive. Or Alive or Dead, sorry. I always call it Dead or Alive. Alive or Dead. And as you can see there, it's the lowest played song on the album. Okay. So if you're a Band-Maid fan, you'll already know the song. You probably don't already like it, or you haven't heard it much. I don't know. I don't know why this song isn't loved the same way that I love it. It maybe says something about me, or maybe I don't know. But for me, this is my favourite Band-Maid song of all time. Saiki's vocals in this are, I don't know, they make me stop. Like the lyrics are quite impactful as well. I don't know why. I don't fully understand all the lyrics on it. The musical composition on it's just absolutely amazing. So I'm going to play Alive or Dead. So maybe this is the first time you've ever heard it. Let me know what you think of it in the comments. And certainly if you want to, let me know what your favourite Band-Maid song is as well, please. I'd be interested to know that. To see if anyone else actually has favourite Band-Maid songs that aren't the ones that you most commonly know, that aren't Thrill, Dice, Hate, all that kind of thing. So this is Alive or Dead. This bit here. Now, I don't think there's too many live, I actually don't think there's any live videos of this one. Them drums there. It's quite a simple Kanami playing this one, to be fair. Still nice though. So yeah, that's my favourite Band-Maid track, which is probably going to be surprising to a lot of people. And to be fair, there's probably some people that are going to watch this video that are just learning about Band-Maid that's probably not going to sell them into Band-Maid. I hope I've played some songs today that you've thought, oh, I really like that. Because music's a personal thing. If you were to ask another Band-Maid fan to sit and do exactly what I did today, you would get a completely different video of completely different songs. And that is the beauty of Band-Maid. They have that availability of music in their catalogue that you can find what suits you, what you feel. And they're so diverse in what they do with their music, but still stick to their own sound. It's almost paradoxical, but it's just magic. The magic of Band-Maid. What I would say is, it's probably pretty clear now that Band-Maid, like if you're watching this, Band-Maid is my favourite band. I listen to a lot of music, and doing my live streams and in doing all my music videos that I make, where I take like the top 80 female Japanese guitarists and things like that. Believe me when I say that I have listened to so much music, and there's so much amazing music coming out of Asia, not just Japan, especially Korea. Like Korea's got an absolutely vibrant and amazing musical scene. I'm going to see Rolling Quartz in January. They're an absolutely amazing band. I would really recommend you check them out. They're very rocky like Band-Maid, different sound altogether, but you know, they're a rock band. The girls that are absolutely amazing, that are absolutely amazing on their instruments as well. But well, I kind of digress a little bit. What I'm trying to say is Band-Maid for me are one of the best bands in the world, and I do believe that everybody, if they had the opportunity to listen to enough Band-Maid, would probably fall in love with them too, or at least like them to a certain degree. But they don't get that kind of exposure here in the West. It's left to a couple of YouTube videos with people reacting to Thrill. I would like to maybe try and help out a little bit more by showing some of the other stuff that they've got to offer. So I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you disagree with anything that I've said, if you want to comment on anything that I've said about any of the songs, if you want to find out anything more about Band-Maid, if you need any information on that kind of stuff, then please just let me know in the comments. I really enjoyed just sitting speaking about Band-Maid today. I really enjoyed just sitting and listening to some Band-Maid songs. I actually feel quite exhausted. I feel like I've been at a Band-Maid show. So thank you for watching, and keep an eye on my channel, because I do a lot of things. I've got my live streams, and I am working on a lot of videos. So I've got my bass players video coming out, hopefully this week at some point. It takes a while to gather all the videos together for it, but we're up to about 80 odd bass players. So that'll be a good watch if you're into bass players. Right, anyway, I digress again. Thank you for watching. Take care. Bye the now.